Do you ever wonder how great leaders in the community make things happen? When they encounter new, unexpected challenges like a pandemic, how do they continue to successfully make an impact? Welcome to That Sounds Terrific, the podcast that connects you with these amazing people. Get insights on what they do to meet their goals, find out how you can help them in their mission, and learn their methods so you can be more successful at what you do. Welcome to That Sounds Terrific with host Nick Koziol.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to a new hybrid version of That Sounds Terrific. Joining me today are Jess and Justin, local real estate professionals. Thanks for being on the show.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us.
So the reason I brought both of them on the show is, first of all, they're both awesome people. And the other reason is they had this great little side project that I think is just terrific, and I wanted to talk more about it. So why don't you start by telling us a little bit about yourselves, and then we'll kind of get into this side real estate hustle.
Yeah. So, like you said, Justin and I are both real estate agents. We are actually at different brokerages, but we work really well together. So, a few months back, I had gotten a little annoyed with some of the things that just not all agents, but some agents were doing, like leaving a door unlocked or something like that on one of my listings. So I made a kitschy little video that I put on a page that's only for local realtors, just to say, like, lock the doors when you're done with the showing. Justin saw that, and basically he was like, we need to do videos together. And it started out as it was going to be more like, how to perform showings, but like elevated, how to do this with a sense of humor.
Right.
And it turned into this kitschy, fun brother-sister duo, Buck and Janet of BJ Realty. We've been having fun ever since, doing videos. And Justin, you want to talk a little bit about Buck Wild Luxury?
Yeah, so Buck Wild Luxury was basically sprung off the idea, like Jess said, that she made a video and then I had made a video and then she made another one. And it was one of those things where, like, well, we're already complaining about all these things, but nobody ever has solutions to it. So maybe by highlighting some of these things, maybe we can actually cause some change on top of it while adding some humor to it. The stuff that we do in this show, it's supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be lighthearted, and it's the lighter side of real estate. We don't do heart surgery for a living by any means, but we do perform a service, and we want everyone in our industry to perform it at the highest level. And since they weren't getting it from the, hey, do this level, we said, let's go to a different level. And what turned out is kind of a joke at the beginning, kind of sprung into this fun BJ Realty. I don't even know where it's going to go, but it's been very fun and different, and it's catching a lot of attention of the local real estate agents, and not always for the best. Some of the older people don't love us apparently, but everyone who actually does their job sees the humor in it and actually encourages us and gives us episode ideas right now.
Right.
Yeah.
So there's one episode where we spin a wheel for a buyer to find out what they should offer on a home. Mm-hmm. And that was to make fun of not doing comps and, a competitive analysis, a comparative analysis of the homes in an area, things like that, which is what we do for buyers as an active agent, even in a crazy market like the one that, we've been in. It's important to do. Yeah. And especially for appraisal value reasons and things like that, which we were actually talking about offline.
Yeah.
And so it's meant to be a joke, but apparently that really made some people a little upset. But if there is an agent out there spinning a wheel, then I think they deserve to be made fun of.
They need to be made fun of, and we need to have a little bit more coaching involved here.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Mm-hmm. I mean, and from outside the market perspective of not being a realtor, it does sometimes seem pretty random. Like I wouldn't have said a wheel, but I would have probably said a dart being thrown at a board for random price listings and things like that. So I can totally see the humor in that. And that's what I really love about the show is you don't need to be a realtor to find humor in it. And I was going to ask that question, like, have you gotten any bad feedback from, realtors or even non-realtors about what you're doing? Because kind of in a way no one likes to be made fun of, but also because of social media, there's a lot going on right now where like everyone is just like feels like they're allowed to complain and kind of being mean about anything. So can you give us like maybe another example of some uphill challenge that you've encountered?
I'll take that one, Jess.
Okay.
That one has been, how far do we take it? Right.
Mhm.
I mean, that's our biggest struggle, is because you don't want to make people feel alienated and really bring
Right.
it to this point where the fun is lost. But what we've been finding is we take very basic things that people should have and use common sense doing. Now, we're all human. We've all made a mistake. We've all left a light on. We've all done this, something like that. But when it's happening at the level it was like, we really need to address this. But how do we do it in a way where we're not making fun of the profession? Because we take our profession very seriously, but at the same time say, look, guys, it happens, but let's be better. And let's put a fun twist on this. So I think the biggest obstacles is, how far do we take it? We were going to do Southern accents when we first started this, and we were going to do this, and we are going to do these type of things. And it was like, well, no, let's just be us and hit the main points at hand. And then we'll see where it evolves to. But we didn't really want to alienate people. And we're still struggle with that a little bit, because some of our ideas may be a little risque, per se, right? And where do we go, and where do you draw the line where it does leave that level of just being fun? And that's the most hardest struggle I think I come into.
It is. I mean, we're just trying to be outlandish characters here. I mean, Janet wears shoulder pads under under just like a strappy dress, like it's just funny. It's supposed to be just like he said, lighthearted, outlandish. Nobody would ever actually do it, but it's also, it may be a little educational, like don't be a Buck and Janet, don't. And then we also, because when we started Buck and Janet, we knew that we were going to have some of that. We did a little research with chatting with people about how they would feel about it, agents in particular. And we knew that we were going to face that backlash. And so we started a different TikTok, which is called For Real Estate Agents, which that name actually came from one of my clients. And so, and that is where Justin and we are ourselves, and we offer tips and, chat about, I've done a few where I just chat about a showing that I was just on and things like that. But to show that we are professionals, we are serious, and this is how we're serious. But BJ Realty is really just fun, fake, but also, like I said, like maybe a little educational for the few.
Yeah, and let's be honest, these stories come from other agents. So it's not really, we don't have to, it's all organic, and we kind of get all this stuff from agents from all over the country now at this point, from the ones that are watching it, and it's happening there too. So they are kind of geared at probably agents, nobody in particular, but they're telling us their stories, and we're taking their stories and making them a fun reality little show out of it.
Right.
Yeah, and I think that when you do something serious, like you're saying it to supplement some of the off-putting humor, you're hitting both sides of the educational, circle, for lack of a better word. So you get the people that are serious that want to learn, but you also have people that are kind of like me, and I remember something that's funny far better than I remember something that's super serious.
Right. Exactly.
So I think at this point in the show, I'm going to show 2 clips, from both sides of things. And we're going to see or hear, if you're listening, a little bit from Buck and Janet and a little bit from the more serious tone.
I'm Justin Brosnan.
I'm Jess DeCotis.
And we are 4 real estate agents. And today we're going to talk to you about what your buyer's agent should be looking for when you're touring a home.
It's not just opening a door for you to let you into a home. We are really looking for what's wrong with this house.
One of the easiest things that an agent should have with them is this handy dandy little $6 electrical tester. It's an easy way to make sure all the outlets are grounded, there's no reverse polarity. Great little tool to have. The other tool that I always have with me, which is shining off me now, is a laser measuring tape. Why? Because is that bedroom set going to fit? Is the space going to work for you?
Go to the basement.
Ooh, scary basement. Now, you'll never see me in an outfit like this when I go to tour a home, and there's a reason why. If there's a crawl space, a walk-up attic, anything like that, I'm not diving into that with my Armani suit. So a good agent is going to dress appropriately, but be ready to go and spring into action.
It's Buck.
Buck.
What? Oh, we're taping. I'm Buck.
Hi, I'm Janet.
We're team.
BJ Realty.
Guaranteed to satisfy you.
Luxury.
Welcome to our newest listing.
Latest listing. Come in, Buck.
High-end security.
Real wood. Columns. Luxury.
You gonna go?
I was your turn to talk.
So let's get to know a little bit more about you and Justin. So Justin, I'll start with you. Like, how did you become a realtor? How did you get into this mess?
Yeah, that's a good way to put it, mess. So I was 21 years old, actually. I'm not 37 now, and I didn't do anything with my license for 9 years. Someone just said, let's go get our license. And I said, okay. And I was sitting in a cubicle after college, and I did these awesome Lowe's. I worked for Red Bull. I worked in all these different avenues, and I'm not a cubicle guy. And randomly, one of my friends got into it after 9 years of me just sitting on the sidelines with it. And I go, well, my class expires in 3 months. It's now or never. So I literally walked into my job and said, here's my 2-month notice, knowing they couldn't fire me because they had nobody else to do my job, and said, here's a 2 months. I'll help you find somebody. I'll help you train up and this, that, and the other. But here's what I'm going to go do. And I just hit the ground running from there. And now I'm 8 years into this. And it was one of those things I had no idea. It was just a complete leap of faith. And I had no idea how it was going to play out. But I said, I didn't have kids. I had a decent amount of savings. I had paid off all my student loans. I was working towards this thing. And I said, this is something I want to try. And the biggest reason was it wasn't in a cubicle.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is why I'm going to try this. I'm not meant to be confined to this space. And this seems like an opportunity for me to meet people, get out there. I had a little construction background between Lowe's, working with roofers and this, that, and the other, and doing some jobs. It kind of fit together. And I never really looked back from that. And that was my story in a nutshell.
Very, very cool. How about you, Jess?
So I've always been interested in homes. Like I was that nerdy kid that went to Wegmans, and I would take that free magazine of all the houses, and look through, and it'd be I would tell my mom, oh, this one's like 300. This is a big house. And back then 300,000 was like really nice house, right? So as I grew older, I was like, okay, well, I'm going to go into interior design. And I went to RIT for interior design. That was not to be, because I do not like art. So I got into art school and I hate art. So I was like, this isn't going to work. So I switched to marketing, and that was a much better fit. And then I ended up in corporate marketing for, probably almost 13 years. And it got to the point where, I had my son and I didn't have my job anymore. That was a thing in the past, but I like to work. And I had always been interested in real estate, and I'd actually taken classes years prior, but just never finished them because it's scary to lose your, to take that leap. Like Justin said, it is scary to lose your cushy paycheck. So I waited until that point where I finally was holding my baby going, I don't have a cushy paycheck anymore. What's stopping me now from doing what I want to do? And so actually my realtor helped me find the brokerage that I started in. And it was this career for me is a perfect fit. It's everything I love. You fly by the seat of your pants. You're always moving. You don't know what you're doing tomorrow. You don't know what you're doing today. Sometimes, you have to show people houses immediately to get in. You're writing offers. So yeah, I loved it, and I've had a lot of success, and I've been doing it now for 5 years.
Very, very cool. And I'm kind of hearing some crossover with the trends. So if you're in a cubicle and you don't like being in a cubicle, become a realtor. But make sure that you started your class before, or
Yeah. You just sit in a car all day.
And get ready for the commission only. Get ready for that excitement as well.
Yeah. I have no money today. Well, oh, look, I closed on a house. I have money today. Yeah.
And then I have no money tomorrow. Yay.
Yeah. So, and I'm a little bit of a realtor's nightmare. We've only bought 2 houses in our lifetime in our family, and one I had like the guy, I think he showed me probably like 75 houses before we picked something, right? And then something similar when we came out to the sort of the Western New York area. But what was neat is I started working a little bit for a realtor and helping with social media and different things and having fun. And I really did enjoy like taking the photos of the house and learning more about like the markets and like, doing fun things. So I love the ingenuity, we can say a word, of what you guys are doing, because it's a great novel approach to an old like art. So what's coming up next? Like what's in the pipeline?
Well, hopefully we slow down with our regular, day-to-day real estate a little bit here, because we were getting some good traction. We slowed down. I mean, we probably have another good 8-9 episodes. We'll tease it a little bit without giving up too much of it. There's probably gonna be some cops in one. We might be going to houses and doing everything the wrong way pretty soon. There's some really interesting potential new characters and eventually coming out and things like that, if this can grow into that, which finally I think we are getting to that point in the season with both of our careers, where by the end of this month we can really hunker down because inventory is lighter and more and we won't be showing as much. But I mean, I've noticed even us doing these episodes, I've gotten more traction, and so we become busier already. So now it's trying to find that happy medium. We're going to be doing a show on October 18th. We're doing a talent show. Buck and Janet are going to be doing a comic sketch. Don't ask us on what, because we have no idea yet. And we probably won't know until a couple days before or an hour before. But we're going to be doing some fun things. We just want to keep going with this content and have fun. I think that's what most of this world is lacking, is everybody takes everything so seriously. So my goal, and I hope Jess's goal, and Buck and Janet, I know it's their goal, is to make sure we just keep giving lighthearted, wow, I can't believe this happens. And it happens in every career. I should also point out, this isn't very specific to real estate. Now the situations are specific, but everybody needs to start doing this a little bit. Have a little fun and be able to laugh at yourself and laugh at your, the situation and the businesses you're in. And that's my goal with this long term, is to keep being able to laugh, keep having fun, and keep making everyone understand that this is real world and don't take it so seriously sometimes.
Right. No, exactly. I am just following Justin's lead on that show coming up on October 18th.
Oh, good, because I'm following yours. Continue.
He told me that he's got it all in the bag and that he'll just let me know what to do, right?
Sure. That's what I say.
Yeah. But yeah, exactly that. You hit the nail on the head. This is every industry. Every industry has something where you're like, really, come on. And, I love the fact that with BJ Realty, we're also like Justin kind of hinted at, we're going to have some guest appearances and things. We're picking from our community of agents. So they're going to be the cops. They're going to be, the buyers, the sellers, all of it. We're really trying to include them and make our community more excited about it, because, again, we all want to have fun together. We're not trying to exclude or anything like that. So that's what makes me really, really excited about BJ Realty and where it can go, because it'll get the community involved. Our community is very important because our community is all about relationships. So the better relationships we have with realtors, the better we can do for our clients.
Yeah. I mean, parody accounts are really cool and awesome. I'm a huge Weird Al Yankovic fan, so having like the real song version and the fake song version, right? Sometimes I can't remember the lyrics of either one because I merged them all together. But I think that what you're trying to do is build, another community within this extended family, and I really love it, because that's where your ideas are going to come from. And what better opportunity for another realtor to come on your show, or another community member come on your show and be involved and kind of just poke fun at themselves, or a situation that at the time was probably extremely stressful for them. And it's so great to relieve stress through laughter.
It really is.
So So we've kind of figured out like where you've been, we've kind of figured out what you're doing and where you're kind of going to. But now we're kind of at the point of the show where, you know, definitely going to have all the contact information in the notes, and we're going to have ways for them to get people to give you suggestions or maybe requests to be on the show or whatever. But is there anything else about Buck and Janet or what you're doing that you definitely want listeners to know?
I personally want everyone to know that we've only known each other since we started the show. Like this just happened.
Yeah.
This was one of those things that was like, hey, let's collab. Let's collab. Did we just become best friends?
Yep.
Yeah. I think that's what's so cool about what we're doing. And this is what one of the biggest reasons I wanted to do a collab like this is it has gotten me in front of other people that I never would have expected to, or getting that call from a real estate agent going, hey, that's a great idea. This is something we got to do. And I really enjoyed that. And I think the people think we're actually brother and sister.
They do.
We actually have gotten that comment. And that's the craziest part is you see us together and people are like, wow, you guys must have known each other for years. No, it's just, once again, we don't take it seriously. We don't really need to. And we don't agree on a lot of things. We act like brother and sister. I will tell you that. I think that's why this works as well. But we respect each other and we have opinions. And the reason I'm not sitting next to you right now is because of our great communication skills. And oh, you can do it anywhere, Justin. Why aren't you here? But anyway, brother sister dynamic that I just think that's the part that I really enjoy with everything here and everything going forward with everything we're doing is we took this simple idea amongst strangers and now have elevated it to a point where I consider her a very good friend. She'll probably say the same, even though she's going to mother truck me off camera, but
No.
that's okay. But it's fun. It's lighthearted. It's real. And there's just not enough of that in the world at all. It's red, it's blue, it's this, it's that.
Right.
Sometimes we just need to cut that all out and just be people.
Yeah.
And that's really my message for everything we're doing behind this is stop.
Right.
Let's be people. Let's enjoy life. And let's just get out there. And if you don't understand something, ask questions. It doesn't have to be offensive. It doesn't have to be this. Let's educate people on what's happening. And let's take it and make it on such an exaggerated level that we can all laugh about it and at ourselves.
Right. Yeah. I do think it's hilarious that people do think that we're brother and sister quite often. And I think, yeah, you're right. We act like it too, which is funny. But I guess my biggest thing that I want people to take away is follow us on YouTube, Buck Wild Luxury, and on TikTok, Buck Wild Luxury, and Instagram, Buck Wild Luxury.
Noticing a theme here.
There's a lot of things to get in Buck Wild here.
Yeah.
Luxury. This is luxury. This podcast is luxurious, full of luxury. But yeah, that's the biggest takeaway, that I would love for people to follow us and like you said, send suggestions. We would love to I would love to hear suggestions from buyers and sellers too, because I'm sure that they have stories, right? Like I would love to do it from the outside, a different perspective, because we only know what we know, right? As those buyer and seller agents, it's different.
Yeah, we can definitely help you there for sure.
Perfect.
You know me, I'm not too far from a good suggestion in a way, right? So you made me think of something else with the whole I was thinking of Andy Kaufman and how reality was always blurred with him. So it'd be really neat in the future if you get a client, both of you, and they don't want to work with the real you, they want to work with a Buck and Janet. And that might be an interesting dynamic.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, can you imagine how many more clients we'd pick up at showings just off the outfits?
Yeah,
I mean, that
alone
might actually be brilliant within itself.
Well, with the shoulder pads, you probably could hold a couple of them, right?
Probably could. Yeah, no. Yeah. I mean, yesterday I held an open house, and another agent recognized me and said, "Oh, Jess DeCotis, the famous Jess DeCotis," as a joke. And I said, "Yeah, BJ Realty, we're the #1 in Rochester, Syracuse, and Buffalo, #1 real estate company." And I said that in front of his buyers too, and they were like, "Oh."
I went to a charity cornhole tournament, and I actually got yelled at for not showing up as Buck. They wanted to take a photo shoot with me, and they're like, I'm like, and I just brought the other car. I'm like, normally I would have the outfit in my car. Yeah. Just because, and this was the only time I didn't. And I was like, wow, people actually The ones that like it really are really just gravitating towards it. And it's only that 65 plus community that might be a little mad in our real estate community because they're very by the book, old school, this, that, and the other. And that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that either, but they should.
Sounds like another episode.
Yeah.
There's plenty of those. I have a couple from this weekend I haven't spoken with Jess about some interesting characters that I came across. But yeah, it's been really cool going to these things and people actually saying, "Hey, can I get a picture with Buck?" I'm like, "Well, Buck's not here." Like, Buck isn't real. Well, where's your sister? Well, first, she's not my real sister either. Like I was shocked with how many people were starting to say that. So
yeah,
so funny.
But seriously, that's right out of like Man on the Moon, Andy Kaufman. Like, I want this character. We're not expecting. Yeah. So very awesome.
Yeah.
Is there anything else that you wanted to say, or
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
Good. Yeah.
Well, I really appreciate having you both on the show, both virtually and in person. A new hybrid version of That Sounds Terrific. I love it. It happened purely by accident, but I think it was really a cool dynamic. So thank you, Justin, for being on the show, and thank you, Jess, for being on the show.
Thanks for having us. We really appreciate it.
And I can't wait to see where this goes next.
I can't either. Let's get Buck wild.
Luxury.
Thank you for joining us on another episode of That Sounds Terrific. Don't forget to check out the show notes and our website at thatsoundsterrific.com to find the contact information and the best ways to volunteer with the organizations that we feature. If you know someone that is doing terrific things and think they should be featured in a future episode, be sure to email us their name, contact info, and short description of what they're doing at thatsoundsterrific@gmail.com. If you like our show, give us a 5-star rating and give us some social media love by liking our Facebook page, That Sounds Terrific. Follow us on Twitter at Sounds Terrific 2 and Instagram at Sounds Terrific. We love hearing your feedback on how to make our show sound even more terrific. Till next time.